Prime Minister authorizes key decisions to boost availability of medical personnel to fight COVID-19. Also authorizes postponement of NEET PG exam for at least 4 months. Medical personnel completing 100 days of COVID duties will be given the Prime Minister's Distinguished COVID National Service Samman. Early signs of plateauing of the new cases being witnessed in a few states, including Delhi, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh. But the Health Ministry urges states and districts to continue containment efforts to preserve the gains, says the reports in the media alleging that the centre has not placed any fresh order for COVID-19 vaccines are completely incorrect. The government is in the process of setting up temporary hospitals and COVID care centres near medical oxygen plants for smooth supply. Dr. Guleria urges people not to undertake CT scan and biomarkers tests unnecessarily as it's harmful. Says everyone, including COVID recovered people, should take both doses of the vaccines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen hold a telephonic conversation in preparation for the upcoming India-EU summit. Both leaders expressed their views on the prevailing COVID-19 situation in India and the EU. The Prime Minister thanks the EU for its steadfast support to India during these testing times. Supreme Court concludes hearing on EC's plea challenging Madras High Court order wherein it criticized the poll panel for failure to maintain COVID-19 protocols during the poll campaigns. The Supreme Court says that sometimes we are harsh because we want to see, in the larger public interest, something is done. The Indian Railways is continuing its journey of bringing relief by delivering liquid medical oxygen to various states across the country. Delivers cumulative 1,125 metric tons of liquid oxygen by 20 oxygen expresses. 7 oxygen expresses on the run with 422 empty of LMO. Amid the rising corona cases, Punjab too issues new guidelines: nobody to enter the state, whether by air, rail or road, without either a COVID negative report or vaccination certificate. Uttar Pradesh, Odisha and Haryana extend the lockdown. Namaskar and welcome to the news. My name is Mark Lynn. Let's begin with our top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviewed the growing need for the adequate human resources for responding to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country today. Many important decisions were taken which will significantly boost availability of medical personnel on COVID duty. A decision was taken to postpone NEET PG for at least 4 months. The exam will not be held before the 31st of August 2021. Students will also be given at least 1 month's time after the announcement of the exam before it is conducted. And this will make a larger number of qualified doctors available for COVID duties. It will also allow deployment of medical interns and COVID management duties under the supervision of their faculty. And services of final year MBBS students can be utilized for providing services like teleconsultation and monitoring of mild COVID cases. The services of final year PG students may continue to be utilized. The BSc and GNM qualified nurses may be utilized in full-time COVID nursing duties. Individuals providing services on COVID management will be given priority in forthcoming regular government recruitments. All health professionals engaged covered under insurance scheme of the government for health workers engaged in fighting COVID-19. The Prime Minister's Distinguished COVID National Service Samman. All such professionals who sign up for a minimum of 100 days of COVID duty and complete it will receive it. Vacant posts of doctors, nurses, allied professionals and other healthcare staff in health and medical departments will be filled within 45 days. Our next story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a telephonic conversation today with Ursula von der Leyen, who is the President of the European Commission. The two leaders exchanged views on the prevailing COVID-19 situation in India and the EU including India's ongoing efforts to contain the second wave of COVID-19. Prime Minister Modi expressed his appreciation of the EU and its member states for mobilizing quick support for India's fight against the second wave of COVID-19. They noted that the India-EU strategic partnership was witnessing a renewed momentum since the last summit in July. The leaders agreed that the forthcoming India-EU leaders meeting on the 8th of May 2021 in a virtual format was an important opportunity to provide renewed momentum to the already multifaceted India-EU relationship. The India-EU leaders meeting will be the first meeting in the EU plus 27 format and reflects the shared ambition of both sides for further strengthening the India-EU strategic partnership. The Supreme Court today concluded a hearing on the Election Commission's plea challenging the Madras High Court order, wherein it criticized the poll panel for the failure to maintain COVID-19 protocols during poll campaigns. Well, during the hearing, the Election Commission told the Apex Court that when rallies were happening, the situation was not that bad. Raising serious objections to the observations made by the Madras High Court, the Election Commission said that its observations led to a continued discussion in the electronic media that we are murderers, meaning the Election Commission is murderers. Now, upset over the High Court's scathing remarks against it, the Election Commission on Saturday had moved the Supreme Court, saying that the remarks were uncalled for, blatant and disparaging. And the Madras High Court, as we said, had on April 26 castigated the Election Commission for the surge in COVID-19 cases during the second wave of the pandemic, holding it singularly responsible for the spread of the viral disease, and even said that its officials may be booked under murder charges. The Supreme Court said that it will pass the order expeditiously this week. Overcoming all hurdles and finding new solutions, the Indian Railways is continuing its journey of bringing relief by delivering liquid medical oxygen to various states across the country. So far, the Indian Railways has delivered approximately 1,125 metric tons of LMO in 76 tankers to various states across the country. 20 oxygen expresses have already completed their journey, and 7 more loaded oxygen expresses are on the run, carrying approximately 422 metric tons of LMO in 27 tankers. More oxygen expresses to Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Haryana and Delhi, carrying 422.08 MT of LMO in 7 oxygen expresses. These are on their way. The third oxygen express to Delhi, carrying 120 metric tons of liquid medical oxygen, is on its way from Durgapur and is expected to reach Delhi tomorrow. The oxygen express from Angul in Odisha reached Northern Railway's Delhi division in the wee hours today. The express delivered 30.66 MT of liquid oxygen loaded in 2 tankers. Earlier, the national capital received a second oxygen express with 120 MT of LMO from Durgapur. Telangana will receive its second oxygen express from Angul, carrying 60.23 MT of liquid medical oxygen. Haryana will receive its 4th and 5th oxygen expresses. They will be carrying nearly 72 MT of LMO. And the express trains are coming from Angul as well as from Rourkela in Odisha. And another oxygen express with 85 tons is on its way from Hapa in Gujarat and will be reaching Gurgaon for delivery in the NCR region. Some international news international news about international cooperation with India. Well, countries across the globe, they continue to extend their help to India in dealing with the second wave of COVID-19. The Indian community in Qatar has made generous contribution through ICBF, an organization under the aegis of the Embassy of India in Qatar. 200 oxygen cylinders and 43 oxygen concentrators were shipped by INS Kolkata yesterday to India, miles apart, yet part of India's fight against COVID. The Indian Oil Corporation Limited and the Indian Air Force, they have taken the initiative to procure cryogenic oxygen cylinders from Germany. A flight has left for India today. Standing in solidarity with the Indian community as the country continues to deal with the devastating COVID cases, Halifax City Hall was lit in the tricolors of India yesterday, and India has thanked Toronto for this gesture and expressed deep appreciation for the support and solidarity. India has registered 368,147 new COVID cases in the past 24 hours. As per the Union Health Ministry, India is on a steadily growing path. Over 3 lakh recoveries in the last 24 hours. 3,732 recoveries were recorded in the last 24 hours, taking the cumulative total of recovered patients to 1,62,93,003. With this, the recovery rate currently stands at 81.77%. India's total active caseload stands at over 34.13 lakh today. The country's present active caseload consists of 17.13% of the total positive cases. The fatality rate stands at 1.10%. Notably, India has crossed a landmark milestone in COVID-19 vaccination, recording over 15.71 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses being administered so far. 15 crore 71 lakh 98,207 vaccination doses have been given so far, and 12 lakh 10,347 doses were given yesterday. The government of India is leading the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic in collaboration with the states and union territories through the whole of government approach, including carrying out effective vaccination drive. It has also clarified that media reports alleging that the centre has not placed any fresh order for COVID-19 vaccines. These reports are incorrect and not based on facts. The government has so far provided nearly 16.54 crore vaccine doses to states and union territories free of cost. Of this, the total consumption, including wastage, is around 15.79 lakh doses. Over 75 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. Furthermore, over 59 lakh vaccine doses will be received in addition by the states and union territories within the next 3 days. Implementation of the liberalized and accelerated Phase 3 strategy of COVID-19 vaccination has started from the 1st of May. Registration for the new eligible population groups has commenced since the 28th of April. There have been some media reports alleging that the centre has not placed any fresh order for COVID-19 vaccines, and this news reports, as we just said, and so in the last order, in fact, that was placed with 2 vaccine makers, 100 million doses from SII and 20 million doses with Bharat, was in March 2021. These media reports are completely incorrect and they're not based on facts. It is clarified that 100% advance of 1,732.5 crore rupees was released to Serum Institute of India on the 20th of April for 11 crore doses of Covishield vaccine during May, June and July, and was received by them on 28/4/2021. As on date, against last order of 10 crore doses of supplies of Covishield vaccine, 8.744 crore doses have been delivered till the 3rd of May 2021. Additionally, 100% advance of 787.50 crore rupees was released on the 28th of April 2021 to Bharat Biotech for 5 crore Covaxin doses during May, June and July, and was received by them on the 28th of April 2021. Meanwhile, according to the Indian Council of Medical Research, 29 crore 16 lakh 47,037 samples have been tested for COVID-19 so far across the country. Out of these, 15 lakh 4,698 samples were tested yesterday. The third and the largest phase of the vaccination began in Delhi today. People in the age groups of 18 to 45 are being given jabs against the coronavirus. Around 90 lakh people in this category are eligible for the jabs. Pre-registration is mandatory for beneficiaries in the 18 to 45 age group, and there will be no walk-ins for this category for now. Vaccination began at 301 centers across 76 schools for the inoculation exercise. The government has set up vaccination centers at schools to accommodate a high number of beneficiaries. The Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi has said that the government will continue to expand the number of centers as we receive more vaccines. Meanwhile, the private hospital chains Apollo, Fortis and Max have already started vaccinating people in the 18 to 45 age group categories. At limited centers, they did so from Sunday.
दिल्ली सरकार के 76 स्कूलों में ये वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ है और यहाँ पर जिस तरह से आप देख रहे हैं कि इसी स्कूल में हैं, तो इस तरह से पूरी दिल्ली में इस वक्त आज 301 सेंटर्स पर वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोग्राम शुरू हुआ है 18 साल से 45 साल के बीच के लोगों के लिए। और क्योंकि आज पहला दिन है, हम इसको और आगे बढ़ाएंगे। हमारा टारगेट है कि हर स्कूल में इस तरह से कम 10 सेंटर्स हों और अभी इसको धीरे धीरे करके हम 300 स्कूलों तक लेके जाएंगे।
Well, people from across Maharashtra who have recovered from COVID-19 have shared their experiences, and they're doing so, talking about their experiences and also of following COVID-appropriate behavior at home and following government protocols. They've shared the importance of yoga as well. Let's listen to some of them.
तो एक दिन पहले मुझे बुखार और खांसी थी और डॉक्टर की सलाह लेने के बाद मुझे उन्होंने होम आइसोलेशन का पर्याय प्राप्त किया और उस हिसाब से उन्होंने दिए हुए सूचनों का और ट्रीटमेंट का पालन करते हुए मैंने होम आइसोलेशन स्वीकार किया। उस बीमारी से मैं बाहर भी आ गया।
और 8 दिन में मैं अच्छा हो गया। डॉक्टर लोगों की तरफ से अच्छा गाइडलाइन मिला, तो वजह से मैं अच्छा हो गया। कोई भी कोरोना से मुक्त हो सकता है और सिर्फ डॉक्टर ने जो सुझाव दिए वो सब नियमित रूप से उसका पालन करना चाहिए, घबराना नहीं।
And one such patient from Raisan in Madhya Pradesh shares his experience and asks people not to fear COVID but follow the government guidelines.
मेरे पास ये मैसेज आया कि मैं कोविड-19 पॉजिटिव हूँ। डॉक्टर्स ने मुझे सलाह दी कि आप अपने आप को होम आइसोलेट करें और उन्होंने कुछ मुझे दवाइयाँ दी, किट्स दी। डॉक्टर्स ने जो बातें मुझे हिदायत के रूप में दी थी, मैंने उसे मंत्र के रूप में स्वीकार किया और अपने घर में रहते हुए मैंने घर में रहने के दौरान भी मैंने मास्क का नियमित रूप से इस्तेमाल किया। हाथों को लगातार साफ करता रहा सैनिटाइजर और साबुन से। मैंने तो होम आइसोलेशन में रहते हुए अपने आप को पूर्ण स्वस्थ किया। मैं आज आपके सामने हूँ। उम्मीद है हम और आप सभी होम आइसोलेशन में रहते हुए कोविड-19 की गाइडलाइन का पालन करेंगे और कोविड-19 के खिलाफ जो एक जंग पूरे भारत में इस समय लड़ी जा रही है, अपने आप को एक वॉरियर, एक योद्धा के रूप में हम और आप सब स्थापित करके उस जंग को जीतने में एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाएंगे।
Meanwhile, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan announced that the state government has declared all accredited journalists as frontline workers. He also said that the working journalists are doing a great service to the state by providing a seamless news feed, making people aware on COVID-related issues, and they are a great support for the war against COVID.
हमारे पत्रकार मित्र इस कोविड के खतरनाक काल में अपनी जान जोखिम में डाल के अपने धर्म का निर्वाह कर रहे हैं और इसलिए मध्य प्रदेश में सभी अधिमान्यता प्राप्त पत्रकारों को हमने फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर घोषित करने का फैसला किया है। उनका पूरा ध्यान रखा जाएगा, उनकी पूरी चिंता की जाएगी।
And down south in Karnataka, 24 people reportedly died at a COVID hospital in Chamarajanagar yesterday, allegedly due to a shortage of oxygen supply. Taking note of the situation, the Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa spoke to the Chamarajanagar District Collector over the incident and called an emergency cabinet meeting tomorrow. Meanwhile, the State Home Minister Basvaraj Bommai has sought a detailed report on the incident. He added that the government is working towards meeting the oxygen supply demand and it will stabilize in a few days. In the assembly elections held to 4 states and 1 union territory, the ruling parties retained power in Assam, West Bengal and Kerala, while the opposition parties will form the government in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee came out on top, fighting off a stiff challenge posed by the BJP, though she herself was defeated in the constituency of Nandigram. In Assam, the BJP has retained power. The Left Democratic Front has secured a second term in Kerala. In Tamil Nadu, the DMK-led alliance has toppled the AIADMK government, and there would be a regime change in the Union Territory of Puducherry. And Mamata Banerjee has been unanimously elected as the leader of the TMC's Legislative Council at the party meeting in Kolkata. Mamata Banerjee will take the oath as Chief Minister on May 5. The other ministers will take oath on May 6. And Prasenjit Bakshi now joins us from Kolkata with more on this story. Well, Prasenjit, the last time we were spoken to you, we got cut off. But Mamata Banerjee has now been formally elected as the leader of the legislature party, and she will stake claim to form the government, and she's going to be sworn in as the chief minister on May 5th. Tell us a little bit about what the arrangements are going to be like under COVID protocols, and also about what the likely ministers are.
Yeah, Mark, as I told you earlier that the legislative party meeting was scheduled at around 3 p.m. today afternoon, and it happened under Mamata Banerjee. It was a matter of a minute to be elected as a unanimous leader of the legislative party of Trinamool Congress, and any time from now she will be visiting the Governor House to stake the claim. And as you told the viewers that on 5th of this month, that means day after tomorrow, she will be taking the oath. And for the COVID protocol this time, the oath-taking ceremony is divided in 2 parts, and the other day the other ministers will take the oath, and this will happen in the Governor House according to the primary information whatever we are receiving. And strictly the number of guests and number of invitees, the things will be controlled by both the Governor House and the Chief Minister Office. That will be very restricted, and media also will be very restricted on the occasion. COVID protocol will be maintained.
Right.
But at the same time, Mark, I would like to add one more thing to this incident, to this situation, that BJP, the main opposition, is in a strong and constant complaint of forceful violence, discounting violence. That is also very important, and that they are also visiting the governor to lodge their complaint before the governor. Mark.
Okay, so the BJP has taken a complaint to the governor, will be taking a complaint about post-poll violence, and we were also saw some of that yesterday. But with regard to Nandigram, and you were telling us that the TMC had wanted to approach the courts for a recount. What is the current situation with regard to that? And how will Mamata Banerjee get herself elected to the legislature?
Look, according to the constitution, you know that Mamata Banerjee, though she will be taking the oath and will be the chief minister of the state, but she has a time of 6 months to get elected. But Mamata Banerjee still not has cleared the air that whether she will be contesting from Bhavanipur or Kharda. There is a constituency in North 24 Parganas there where Trinamool Congress has won, but unfortunately the candidate himself has passed away due to COVID. That is the by-election there is due, obviously. And secondly, Mamata Banerjee is still fighting in Nandigram. She has complained a lot. Trinamool Congress complained with so many details of Nandigram, and claiming that even today, after the legislative party meeting, in the press conference, Mamata complained that in some of the cases, the returning officers or the counting officers, they were forced on gunpoint, Mark, I must say, on gunpoint to take some decisions in favor of BJP. Whatever it is, now it is not clear. The Election Commission has not declared any recounting. Or it is not clear that whether Mamata Banerjee will be approaching the Honorable Supreme Court or not. Mark.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Prasenjit, for those inputs. And with that, we conclude this bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. Namaskar.